I mean, come on, was there really any other way I could review this movie? The Invisible Man is written and directed by Lee Wannell, and it modernizes the H.G. Wells classic with an original story starring Elizabeth Moss. And I freaking loved it. Lee Wannell is one of the few actor-turned-directors that I actually appreciate. If you look at his body of work, you can really tell he's been doing what he can to learn the craft, and it shows in each of his movies. I really feel like they just have gotten progressively better and more polished. I loved Upgrade from 2018, and knowing he was helming a sci-fi horror thriller like The Invisible Man, I had pretty high hopes. In my opinion, almost everything was slightly improved upon. Excellent sound design, meticulous cinematography by Stefan Duccio. It really felt like a film just made by perfectionists who knew what they wanted, and I love that. I could easily continue on the craftsmanship of the film, but I really want to talk about the acting. Firstly, Elizabeth Moss destroyed her role. I admittedly had a couple issues with the screenplay, but her performance was just so good and her delivery was so on point that it made almost everything much more believable. I felt her fear, I felt her paranoia. It was unsettling at times even, but I loved that in the movies, and the feelings lingered even after I left. Aldous Hodge and Storm Reed were excellent as well. By a certain point in the film, I felt like I really knew them, and they didn't even have that much time on screen. They both just have moments where the look on their faces is everything, and they absolutely nail them. Oliver Jackson Cohen knocked it out of the park as well. Really, this movie was just stacked with some fantastic performances. As I said before, the movie wasn't just directed by Lee, but he wrote it as well, making it modern and original. I really enjoyed the story and the way the plot unfolded. Sometimes I feel like the plot of the movie itself has a sort of energy that helps the movie flow, and this had that. It's hard to explain in any other way than my overused phrase. It was really, really well paced. Like I said though, I did have a couple minor issues with the screenplay. Mostly that had to do with a lack of subtlety in some of the dialogue, some of the expositional moments, but the performances really elevated moments like that, and they passed without me hardly noticing. With a story like this, I feel like it would have been really hard to walk the line of realism versus science fiction. You have to make your audience feel that sense of shock and disbelief while also completely buying what's happening on the screen. Lee nailed that, and I'm sure it wasn't easy. Benjamin Wallfish conducted a riveting score that simultaneously compels you and unsettles you throughout the movie. Invisible Man also does a really great job of when it uses music. Some moments are so quiet that it just cranks up the tension without ever getting uncomfortable in the wrong way. I love that in a movie, especially when done this well. Yeah, I'm for sure gonna see this one again. I had such a good time watching it. It's not often I leave a movie as excited as I left The Invisible Man. If this review pushes you to checking it out, I really hope it affects you similarly. I'm giving The Invisible Man an 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. As some of you know, this channel is a sort of way for me to practice filmmaking and push myself to understand the craft to a greater degree. I apologize if that means less content, but I promise it's only because I'm working on something original and time consuming. If you're wondering what that means, check out my short film, There's Something in the Woods. I'll still do small fun videos like this, I really enjoy them. Content will just vary a little more and may continue to be sporadic. Thanks again for watching, and as always, keep watching movies.